Fallout 76 with Duncannuva, a game that a lot of you guys seem to just love to hate, and hate to love. Well, first of all, fuck you. And second of all, it's going to basically be a... yeah. Anybody who messages on the stream for me to play something other than Fallout 76, please leave the stream. I don't give a shit what you have to say. I've heard it all. I just want to state this. Yes, Fallout 76 has its problems, but come on, ladies and gentlemen. It's a Bethesda game. It's not going to be perfect the first few months. Hell, even the first few weeks. But did you know that there is a secret way of how to play Fallout 76? Yes, I will let you into this. You play like the Dungeons and Dragons campaign. That's right. Instead of trying to play it like a standard RPG, play it like a Dungeons and Dragons RPG. Yeah, it's a game we need to get more ammunition. Roll my team off. I know, it's completely weird. Playing a game like another game. That's how I've been playing it. See, the thing is Fallout 76 isn't bad. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. It's... yes, it has bugs. Yes, sometimes the glitches get too unbearable. But if you play it like it's a Dungeons and Dragons game, then you have a lot more fun out of it. God, stay put! You know, it gets tweaked every once in a while. Everybody's Dungeons and Dragons campaign, you know, isn't always the same when they first started, you know? And if you guys keep, you know, going on about how bad it is, well then allow me to attack one of the Fallout franchise's best fault-received games. Fallout New Vegas is a pile of dog shit! Duncannuva, how could you say shit like that? Fallout New Vegas was fucking amazing! No, it wasn't. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm fully aware that fucking Brotherhood of Steel exists. And as I have yet to play that game, because I don't have a PC to be able to run it, I can't. Die. Fuck else needs to die. Where's my rifle? What the fuck are these? Hold up. Oh, he's up there. Oh, there he is. Miss. Rounds, and we will level up. Yes. Yeah, we'll open up my pack. You know, Born Survivor, Tabloizer. Oh, Hacker. I'm happy to get one. I want to get a couple of things into intelligence. You want to get you up. You into charisma and yeah, sweet. So yeah. Hey, welcome to the stream. I'm gonna basically just put you a Fallout New Vegas for a bit. You can just sit back and relax if you want to. Fallout New Vegas, when it first released in 2010, bored the fuck out of me. I saw the trailer and ignored it. I played it when a friend of mine introduced me into it, and it was the most buggiest piece of shit I'd played. The game didn't live up to the hype people keep saying it is. It wasn't better than the other games I'd played at the time, which albeit had been done. And yet it continued to bore the hell out of me. Eventually though, I did get to play Fallout 3, and I actually enjoyed that a lot more than I did Fallout New Vegas. Much to a friend of mine's annoyance, as he liked Fallout New Vegas over 3. But the only downside was that I had played all the DLC of Fallout 3. Eventually, I'd play all of the DLC for Fallout New Vegas, and that would mean, you know, Sierra Madre crap and all that bullshit. And it just felt very lackluster. The difference between a Bethesda game and, of course, the Obsidian game, Fallout games, was very different, and for me, it was a stark differentiality. I could play the Bethesda game and eventually run into people, mutants or bosses. With the Obsidian game, it was a very empty world, and occasionally I'd be attacked by a pack of Cazador. Fallout New Vegas, for me, left a very bad impression on my mouth, and I would resent it. Eventually, I'd buy it on PC, get a couple of mods for it, and it still felt empty as hell. I would watch videos and other crap. And that'd be enough for me. It's just watching people. I haven't played Fallout New Vegas in many, many months, and I'm quite glad to have not to. But now we've got the Outer Space, or Outer Worlds, or whatever the fuck the new Obsidian game is called. And I saw the trailer, and I said, oh my god, it's even more boring than Fallout New Vegas. How? I've played Obsidian games. I found them all equally as boring and equally unrealistic, equally unfun as Fallout New Vegas. But Outworlds looks even worse. How? But at the end of the day, I remind myself that Fallout 76 is not made by EA. And that, I think everybody can agree on. There's Scorch. By the way, if you want a really good way of making sure that you don't get bored of Fallout 76, D&D campaign, motherfuckers! Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna take that short hunting rifle because I'll need it for mods. Your party loots the house. Pretty sure I'm in an area where there is a workbench nearby. Your party must find a workbench. Your party picks up a bottle of vodka. Fuck yeah! Also must find some addictol soon, because I know I am addicted to alcohol. Oh yeah. I wish I could take you, but I can't because it doesn't Fallout 4. I think it was another game that a lot of people disliked. Why is it nowadays that people just love to hate on Bethesda games? It wasn't like that a few years ago. I am looking forward to Fallout 7, Fallout, yeah, the next Fallout game, the next, Elder Scrolls game, man. Who the fucking die? I have a deep hatred for the Scorch. Hello. Sweet, but we do have Hacker 1, so that will be useful for whenever we need to. Oh yeah, we found a workbench. I ain't having none of this shit. You just wrong. You're just wrong. Nothing could be better than my perfect fallout. You ready? Fuck New Vegas, that isn't the best piece of shit ever. It's one of the most overhyped bullshit and doesn't live up to it. And everybody knows it. Another Bethesda game. Still overcoming? Alright, yeah, no, we'll probably be overcoming the, fact that I have a, weapon on me.
One.
Yeah, I have a bullet for you. Anyway, so let's keep just playing. Wow. This game actually, for the most part, does have a pretty good story. And I'm going to explain it to you. Fallout 76 is set 25 years after the events of the Great War. You are the dweller of Vault 76, a vault that is opened. However, you were lied to by not only the government, but by Vault-Tec. Instead of coming into a world populated by those who had not been so lucky, most of them are dead. And your goal is to find out what happened. And as you go along your way, finding out what had happened to Appalachia and her people, you find out that it's essentially down to a new disease that has corrupted the world. But hasn't consumed ghoul out of the enemies you normally face. In fact, introducing a whole bunch of new ones. That's right, Fallout 76 is very different. As a lot of people are wondering, what seems to be going on here? Well, for one thing, you have to deal with the fact that the world that you once knew in Appalachia is gone. Like 100%, it is just gone. Why? Because, well, you see, that thing I mentioned, all the enemies you've seen me fight, the Scorched, or if you said it in anyone's video, the Scorched, are the reason that everything is dead. There is disease going around called the Scorched, which happens to mutate from one of the creatures that have been mutated by the bombs into the FEV. The reason why everything has mutated so quickly. Mutant sloths roam the world, but a new creature roams it as well. Called the Scorch Beasts. These massive bat-like creatures act a bit like what mythological dragons would. They share some similarities to the wyverns from Skyrim, but at the end of the day, they're not, because unlike the wyverns from Skyrim, these things have 4 legs and wings, so therefore technically are dragons, whereas the creatures from Skyrim are not. Even though the Scorch Beasts aren't dragons, they're giant mutated bats. Yeah. You must find out what has happened to the other existing factions, of which some new ones have occurred, and some existing ones have reappeared. The Brotherhood of Steel and the Enclave have come back, but the Free States, Responders, and of course, Firefighters, well, the Raiders, are there to fight for their freedom. Except you're the only one there, and you kind of go, where the hell? Although it does amuse me, by the way, if they ever return to Fallout Appalachia, West Virginia, in any next Fallout game, everyone is going to be a descendant of someone who played from someone's character in Fallout 76. That amuses me. Your party is currently walking on your quest objective. Yeah, well, I do have another character. Her name is Gorus, but this one is called Naka. And I'm going to take some aspects from Gorus, who was my first character. So I'm not going to continuing on. Gorus was a Native American-Japanese hybrid woman. Her father was Native American, her mother was Japanese. During the Great War, before the Great War, she actually helped create Deathclaws. And her story I did the other day. Naka here is of course Native American and Japanese, but her father hailed from a different Native American tribe, the Iroquois, instead of the Cherokee, in which Gorus did. I thought, you know what, why not make it Native American? Why not? Her mother was from Tokyo, Japan, and was a doctor of medical science. This would have an everlasting impact on Naka, as she wanted a mother Naka would eventually go on to, in post-pre-war society, to create a lot of beneficial things. But her father knew of the coming, well, war. And, well, asked her to return home to West Virginia. Combat shotgun.
Oh, yeah.
Her father unfortunately passed away 3 months before the Great War would break out from a heart attack. Naka would eventually return home to look after her mother, whom was extremely heartbroken over the loss of her husband. Naka's mother would eventually commit suicide just after the Great War had started, which really did upset Naka quite a bit. But she didn't expect it. After cremating both her mother and father, she was able to move on with what she was doing. Eventually, though, she received an invitation from Vault-Tec to join the Vault program, in which she would be put into Vault 76, her nearby vault. She didn't like Vault-Tec and actually had a great hatred towards the group. But she wasn't going to say no. And in the Vault, continued her research into medical science, eventually developing a better version of the stim pack that everybody would use. Unfortunately for Naka, people would start to get angry at, well, 5 years into the Vault, would get angry at her Asian descendancy, same with her Native American descendancy, and refused to seek even medical help from her. This was going on long enough that it got to the point where the Vault Overseer stepped in and said that, well, guess what? You're gonna have to, otherwise you will die. This would forever create a rift between Naka and everybody else in the Vault. They weren't too happy being saved by an Asian. Oh no, don't use the A word. After the Vault opened, Naka, who was into the Vault when she was 21, was now 41, 46, was ready to find what had happened to her home in Charleston, only to learn that the raiders had washed it away by breaking the dam. It would be her mission to hunt down any raider remnant, in which she would kill anyone who pissed her off. Naka would survive the events of Fallout 76 and go on to stay within Appalachia, unlike Gorist, who was her close friend in the Vault. Gorist would leave Appalachia and would send Naka a note when Naka was in her 70s. Naka even had a family at this stage, created with one of the other dwellers. But because Naka was in her 70s, she was not going to be able to move her, and unfortunately, one of the pre-war medical things she was hating for had set in. Naka, at the age of 93, suffered from dementia she had gotten when she was 91, when she was 91. In the 2 short years, due to the increased radiation on her, it affected her. She lived near the West Virginian border into the other states, and had recorded to find her will at 90 on a recording. Her family had up and left her there, as per requested by Naka herself. Gorist's son would find this holotape and play it, where he would see the horrid shell of Naka herself, and would be told of it. This is what Naka's holotape said. To anyone who finds this, my name was Naka. Naka Oldtimer. Yeah, I know my own last name sounds like Oldtimer. Just get off. Unfortunately, I don't have much time, as, well, my brain has decided that it was going to deliver to me the final insult of mankind. As you are reading this, I have unfortunately suffered. I've suffered dementia. I'm sorry, my dears. You're not going to be able to get a happy ending out of me this time. If you are to find this, I have a whole bunch of holotaped journals going through the last few years of my life, or the last decades of my life, in a nearby safe, along with a medical research for an old friend of mine. If you are one of Gorist's children, please take it. It was meant for your mother, but I think she'd want you. This is Naka signing off for the final time. Gorist's son actually did the most humane thing possible. Naka had become addicted quite early on, from what her son could figure out, from Jet. He overdosed her on Jet, and then while she was on the trans, put a bullet in the back of her head. Naka was buried in a grave, would be put into a coffin and taken back to where the rest of the family was, where the rest of Naka's family were, by Gorist's eldest son, who would have a play on of her father's name. Naka's father was named Tujin. His name was Tinjin. Tinjin was quite sad that he had to end up killing his godmother, but she was able to be married next to his mother. At request. Tinjin would record his own journal entry after the incident, exclaiming that his wife, that he had, was expecting a baby girl. And he is asked, in ways of remembrance, if they can name it Naka after his, well, aunt he never got to meet. It's later found out that his daughter Naka took some similarities after his aunt. And the fact that she loved to experiment with things. Get out of my inventory, get out of my inventory. Level 10, level 5, level 10. Equip level 5, I have level 10, but I'm going to dismantle you. The short hunting rifle, get rid of the short shotgun rifle, get rid of the sickle, and the T-Rider. There we go. This is a hard rifle, so that's going to be good better. So that is what happened to Naka. I'll be doing a full video on Gorist later. Well, I might as well talk about Gorist now, but Gorist was my first character. And her mother was from the Yokota was a Japanese royalty.
Hey, you down there! Don't be scared, I'm not a ghost. I'm talking you through the PA system. Hey, you came because you heard me on the radio, right? Here's the deal. We're gonna help each other out. What's that? Fantastic! So, I've got this little radio operation I need to expand. Gotta boost it. You know how it is. See, I found these plans for a radio signal repeater on a dead responder out by Seneca Rocks. They were gonna patch you through that giant radio array on the other side of the mountain and leave you there. Only I don't have a plan. It didn't seem important at the time. Oh, I'm kicking myself for not taking the mask when I found you. Can't go back and get him, but who knows what's going to happen. We'll have to ransack this place while I'm gone. Okay, I need you to find the plans, build the repeater, and patch it into the array following their notes. Easy peasy, right? I'll take the rest from there. We'll be in business. Rose and, whatever your name is.
Hey, Rose and Ruby.
Overseer's log, top of the world. There's someone in control of this old ski resort, and if I ever find her, I'm gonna wash her mouth out with the first thing vaguely resembling soap I can get my hands on. Ugh. Selfish. That's the word. Maybe that's why she's alone. That's why she survived. But the only way she'll tell me what she knows is if I help her first. All the good people I've learned about who've died, and it's the sociopath who still gets to live.
I'm going to go find a workbench. Jesus. Brenda's on. Hello there. Woot! really. I'm actually going to end it soon. But no, I won't do one thing.